Hi, everybody. Okay. It's been a pretty, oh gosh. Am I allowed to get angry? Because let me tell you, it's so bad, y'all. Mm. I'm a pretty upbeat person. Otherwise, I couldn't get through almost 5 years of this hell, right? Of this absolute hell. Of these most vile, vulgar, sex cult, thieving, traitors, treasonous, murderers. It's, you know, only by the grace of God. Only by the grace of God. And I tell you, 1,728 days since Richard was forcibly removed from his barracks and his life taken from him and his body dishonored by dismemberment and a cover up in lots of locations so that no one would ever find him. But you know what? He's not silent. His spirit, his spirit is alive and well. And these vile, vulgar, evil, traitor, murderers that thieve and put their lipstick on their excrement, it is just, I will be very, very, very happy to watch when they get the full, and this is my prayer, that God will allow me to watch them get the full punishment for their evil, evil, evil crimes. Evil. And absolutely, they are treasonous. And who am I talking about tonight? There's so many. But we'll have to talk about Lieutenant General Sean Cardona Bernabe, who lied to our face, who is absolutely not a stranger to the Fort Bliss area, not a stranger to the evil, to the cartel, Mayella Crucius ties, to not a stranger to absolutely the trafficking, the contracts, the money laundering, the treasonous, oh gosh. He sat across the room from us because, of course, it was 2020. He is just such the scum. He needs to, can you imagine him wearing our uniform and our stars? That needs to be stripped. So I don't even know if he has even, well, I want the full penalty of the law for his treasonous, and then again treasonous, and then again treasonous, because they're never satisfied. They are never satisfied. These are the most vile, vulgar, empty-bellied, sex cult, scheming, thieving, just they're just monsters. They're just absolute monsters. And I just sitting across him with the Jag. I wonder, I wonder. The Jag, of course, Kyla, his assistant's husband, Carla Cardona. Um, oh my goodness. Yeah. Can you believe it? She was a Jag wife. She was a Jag wife. Cybersecurity with Chinese proficiency. And and when you hear what we've heard about her, with Leilani Hart, can you imagine when you're associated with Leilani Hart and you like to have partners, in the worst kind of way, like Leilani with Tavita, um, the worst kind of way. I mean, this there is no boundaries with these people, none. And she gets the ear of the general day in and day out, and he gives her an order, and she facilitates, she promotes it. The cover up of the Fort Bliss whistleblower soldier Richard Halliday, a hero reporting on the criminal trafficking, and he, oh gosh, and he gets retaliated against and murdered. And Sean Bernabe is so worried about his own little backside. No, really his own personal gain, because he is not stranger to that area and their criminal activity. Okay. He is no stranger. And to say, to dishonor Vanessa Guillen. I mean, this is how low these people are. He he dishonors Vanessa Guillen. They had just found Vanessa Guillen's parts parts by the grace of God, because they never ever wanted to. They did whatever they could to cover that up so that that family would never get their loved one. But by the grace of God, the animals were digging around that grave and they found her parts. And Sean Bernabe, Cardona Bernabe, dishonors the memory of Vanessa Guillen. He's so scum to say, because Richard is in the same state. He's in the same state. It's just that he wasn't buried in one spot because they didn't want to have another Guillen situation. Those are not my words. Those are the words of the commander of Fort Bliss in order to cover up. And he is the task force leader for Richard's investigation. And he, behind the scenes, is giving orders to cover up Richard's investigation, to obstruct Richard's investigation, murder investigation, and I'm sure trafficking, what he was whistleblowing on, to obstruct it, to because they didn't want to have another Gyan situation. Not that they didn't want another murder. That's not what bothered them. What bothered them was that they would lose their stars. They would lose their. Look, Sean Bernabe, I think he should have more to worry about right now than losing his stars. Our stars. Those are our stars. Our uniform. He needs to be stripped. And all those that facilitated, obeyed those orders, participated in the cover up. And I know there is so much going on now with this, with Joe lying Spencer, Joe open checkbook Spencer, who when he opens his mouth, he he just cannot be trusted, at all. I mean, like he was in the same pea pod as Bob Moore? Is that, it, and does he know Kyla Cardona? Really? That's a good question. And he's trying to lie to El Pasoans about how he threw all the processes, all the protocols, all the ethics out the window for an open checkbook, leaving the El Paso criminal judicial justice system in shambles and a laughingstock. He gets it's like, wow, we are the nicest people to put up with that. Total. He's a farce. He's a mob boss. Joe Spencer, mob boss, cannot be trusted. Millions of dollars. All that money needs to be paid back and then some. Restitution. Restitution. It is a disgrace. It's so criminal. And so you have the judicial system. And I know I'm like, something is happening. This is a huge cover up. And people were like, I don't think, this many people. And I'm like, I know. How it would take so many people. Y'all, the entire criminal justice system was being managed by the Mayela Crucius cartel tied criminal group. Criminal group that includes the DA's office and the FBI's office. So that includes intelligence because of Cynthia Hernandez. Includes absolutely the intelligence community. Includes the federal courthouse, the criminal law magistrate court. Well, the criminal law magistrate court is one big farce too because of Veronica Escobar. Because Veronica Escobar was the county judge in 2015, and instead of giving the people in El Paso the right to vote as the Texas Constitution mandates, their judges to vote for their judges when they have full jurisdiction of the county. She denied them that, did not tell them that, disfranchised their ability to choose to vote for their judges, and they appointed, the council of judges illegally appointed these judges, and Veronica Escobar approved their paychecks. Year after year, We have a decade of an illegal farce of a very important court. We have imposters impersonating judges on a very important court. Why? So that they can weaponize those judges the way they want. The way they want. They didn't have to answer to the people. They didn't have to uh, um, answer to the people. They were in the hands of the cartel tied, and Veronica Escobar is absolutely cartel tied narco politician, which means she is a big uh, part of the T organization, right? That is now very criminal. So you've got the Michael Mayella, the Mayella Crucius cartel tied criminal group managing the justice and intelligence and Walmart cybersecurity. And then on Fort Bliss, you have Lieutenant General Sean Bernabe and his assistant with, the Jag wife running around with Leilani Hart, vile, vulgar, sex cult. And Leilani Hart is one of the prime suspects in Richard's murder case. And facilitating Lieutenant General Sean Bernabe's orders to obstruct. Can you believe I'm saying this on a live? Millions of people can watch this if they want. Millions of people. Lieutenant General Sean Bernabe ordered the obstruction of the Fort Bliss whistleblower soldier Richard Halliday's murder case. Murder investigation. And people go, "Do you have hard evidence? Do you have hard evidence?" We've got hard evidence. It's shocking. We've got a robust, this is how a friend described it, a robust mountain of hard evidence. And, it's just, you just have to cry and cry, but you're not allowed. You're not allowed to cry and be emotional. And, thank you, Lord, for our Jesus Christ example that when he made his great entry, he was crying. If the stones could only speak. If the stones could only speak. He was crying because he knew. And it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. But believe you me, we have the proof. Believe you me, evidence confirms this treason. And it wasn't just committed upon Richard. It's treason because it was committed on our country, the land and the people. On the land and the people. And land has a big property and contracts have a big part of this. It's a big part of this. And it's a violation because you get this kind of money coming in this illicit money coming in. They don't pay taxes on it, and they have to launder it somehow. And they launder it, and the more criminal our society gets, the higher the prices go because they launder it and they raise the prices of homes. They raise the prices of property. They raise the prices of what the contracts will cost. And then the taxpayers have to foot the bill. And the homeowners have these high mortgages with high property taxes. It is, so you might not think it involves you. It does involve you. His treason is involves all of us. From the crimes that we absolutely know are crimes, like the retaliation and cover up and obstruction and murder and all of that, the scheming and everything. But then there are those crimes that we just sometimes don't realize that just hit us right in the butt and destroy our country, destroy our middle class, destroy our law abiding class. They're destroying our law abiding class. They're wanting to turn, that's why you've got people like Leilani Hart and Kyla Cardona, because they want to entice people to be criminal. And if they set you up to be criminal, then you can't be a whistleblower, right? Because they can use the law against you because they have the connections. And this is what they were doing on Fort Bliss. That's why the 14-year-old girl was living in the barracks for 4 months. Let's get videos of as many soldiers as we can committing a crime. And then if they want to talk about the hundreds of thousands of children being trafficked on Fort Bliss, 10,000 at a time, we can pull out our video and say, look at you. You want to be court-martialed? This is how evil they are. They entrap with their sex cult, disgusting, vile, and vulgar lifestyles that are absolutely criminal so that they can make money off of it and enrich themselves off of the criminal trafficking network with the contracts and the money laundering and all the property stuff, and you see the property stuff being all reported about what's going on in Arizona. It's it it's not limited to Arizona. And Richard made that video, that beautiful video. I rather burn my money than spend it on whores and blow. See, they couldn't get him. That's why he's such a hero. He couldn't be enticed to do crime, to be up to no good. And instead, he reported them. And you can say no one had his back, but that's not true. Trump had his back. That's why you saw the Walmart mass shooting narrative attack President Trump. And Joe Spencer with Montoya. Montoya, Mr. 2028 stamp, um, cannot be trusted either. He's been there from the very beginning. He was the assistant district attorney for Jaime. My sister was at the Walmart Esparza. conflict of interest, but allowed to stay on the case for almost 2 years. Montoya was there from the beginning. He was with Michael Mayella, working in the DA's office. Michael G. Mayella, the cyber technician, the trained hacker with Walmart cybersecurity in the FBI office too. He must be managing the intelligence and the judicial system for, his daddy, Michael F. Mayella, and his mama with all the mental health and her, we have it confirmed that she was part of this initial group that was listening to all the victims' families, right? I'm all about mental health. Let me hear what you saw. Because, I'm the mother-in-law to Crucius. I'm the mother-in-law to Crucius. She didn't reveal that. She kept that a secret, that she's the mother-in-law of Crucius. It is that Mayella Crucius. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? And now we have the Cardona, the Cardona, Kyla Cardona and Lieutenant General Sean Cardona Bernabe. Cardona. I mean, I'm so glad there's a new sheriff in town. And no wonder Pam Bondi and Cash Patel and Dan Bongino, took me a minute. It's late. We're burning the midnight oil. Um, has to act very succinctly and methodically to do this right. Not like how Joe Spencer and Sam Madrano and Montoya does does the Walmart case, breaking every ethics, every tenet, every every procedure, every process. It just seems like it, doesn't it? It seems like they just about all of them, just about all of them, so that they could get the milk machine going of taxpayer money for their own enrichment, the open checkbook. And then come out and say, "Oh, we should never talk about the Walmart case again." Did you hear that with Montoya? "Oh, we should never want to talk about," like a lawyer saying that. Sorry, they always say when they do a big case, "But I was on the Walmart case." Montoya is running from that because he's a disgrace, he's a fake, he's a fraud, he's a foe, he's a foe. He's not even legal. He has no authority. He can see, but he can do nothing. He can see crime, but he can't prosecute because he refused. Because don't tell me he didn't know. Because we were on all every day calling Bill Hicks a usurper. And they absolutely, with all of our FOIAs, knew that we knew that Bill Hicks was a usurper, that he did not sign his anti bribery promise statement of officer before he took the oath of office because he couldn't, because that would have been dishonest. And he even came out in the news saying that he had made conditions on being appointed. So he was such a usurper and so unethical. And then Montoya comes and refuses to sign the anti-bribe promise to the people, the statement of officer, before he takes the oath. And who gives swears him in? Judge Mayella manages me. Guadarrama? Guadarrama? Mayella manages me? Guadarrama? Swears him in illegally? Illegally? Knowing that he is now a sitting, look, no authority. What do you call a person that has no authority? And then El Paso has no district attorney to prosecute. He needs to absolutely, what do you, what do you do? You've got to, you've got to have a district attorney. And El Paso has no district attorney. Why? Because that would mean there would be prosecutions. They don't want prosecutions. So the big news is, there you go. We have the evidence. There you go. We have the proof. Kyla Cardona, Jag wife, cartel tied, um, assistant to Lieutenant General Sean Cardona Bernabe, that orders the obstruction of Richard's investigation because they can't have another Guillen situation. They are disgusting. And they need to be held to the highest penalty available. The highest. So, thank you so much. God bless you. And